Good day, everyone. I'm David, moderator for this webinar. I welcome everyone for today's webinar, which is Basics of Health Information Privacy Compliance Updates for 2024. I would now like to introduce our presenter for today, Paul R. Hales. Paul R. Hales, JD, is widely recognized for his ability to explain HIPAA rules clearly in plain language. He is an attorney licensed to practice before the United States Supreme Court. He is a graduate of Columbia University Law School and senior counselor of the Missouri Bar with an international practice in HIPAA privacy and security. I would now like to hand over the floor to the speaker. Over to you, Paul.
Thank you, Victor, and welcome to everybody. Well, this is really an interesting webinar, and it is something that is new because there is a major shift that's going on right now. And while the webinar is entitled Updates for 2024, it's really in 2024 a continuation. And as Victor said, I am a lawyer, and I must let you know that this is an educational webinar. 2003 has been quite a year in health privacy enforcement. HIPAA is no longer the only game in town. Some newly active and aggressive enforcers of health information privacy law, the Federal Trade Commission, also known as the FTC, has started enforcing, using its enforcement powers, and it is focused on consumer protection. Let's consider this our agenda. What is happening in 2024? There are modifications to the HIPAA Privacy Rule that really have been planned for a long time. This is really the sleeping giant. Tracking technologies, organizations that are not covered by HIPAA. And the thing about 2024 is that you need to keep really up to date on what's going on. The Office for Civil Rights had announced that the privacy rule modifications would become final and in March of 2023. Also, on February 27th of this year, and here you have a link to their announcement, the Department of Health and Human Services announced a reorganization of its Office for Civil Rights. So let's look at the HIPAA Privacy Rule modifications. In their January of 2021, the proposed privacy rule modifications in December of last year. There was also modifications proposed regarding substance use disorder, a modification to laws involving health information privacy that are coming in perhaps in 2024. Then in April of this year, OCR made and published another proposed set of modifications to the HIPAA privacy rule regarding reproductive health care privacy. In June of this year, the Office of Management and Budget, which keeps track of all of these modifications to administrative laws, let's talk about tracking technologies. These tracking technologies are present on almost every healthcare provider's website. Office for Civil Rights put out some guidance about tracking technologies in December of 2022. What is tracking technology? They're used to collect and analyze information about how users interact with regulated entities, covered entity or a business associate. There are many types of these tracking technologies. federal regulators, the Office for Civil Rights and the FTC, focus heavily on two types of tracking technologies. One's called the Meta Facebook Pixel, and another is Google Analytics. What happened in 2022? How did this come to the attention? Tracking technology had disclosed protected health information of about 3 million patients. In 2023, the American Hospital Association wrote to OCR and objected to the December 1st guidance. Internet and IP address should not be considered an identifier. That was followed on November 2nd by a lawsuit, district court in Texas, by the American Hospital Association, Texas Hospital Association. That makes us take a look at what protected health information is. Where did it come from? How is it defined? There is where it's defined. And protected health information begins with information that identifies an individual, is related to the provision of health care. Those aren't protected health information, but if they're connected with a simple thing like an appointment reminder or an email newsletter, that is protected health information. That is protected and subject to the privacy rule. And the privacy rule has had since 2003 a list of 18 specific identifiers. These are all 18 of them. So, I mean, there's no question that, this was just one of many examples where IP addresses are used to identify individuals. The Federal Trade Commission enforcement began with really in 2022, HIPAA-related claims, and this is important. And they're particularly focused on companies that provide seals and certifications. Now, this year, in February of 2023, the FTC secured an order against a company called GoodRx. In April of this year, the OCR director announced that OCR's investigating entities that use these website tracking technologies. It's very easy to locate those entities. Google Analytics do not comply with HIPAA. So the FTC, September 15th, has some publications, and I would encourage you. What's really going on? Well, have one set of laws that protect patient and consumer private lawsuits. These data breach lawsuits mount up over tracking technologies right after the markup article. State privacy laws. So the state attorneys general becoming much more active in enforcing both HIPAA and state consumer protection, privacy, and data breach laws. 13 states have now enacted new privacy protection laws, and some of them, like the California Consumer Privacy Act, apply to healthcare providers. Another state, Washington, enacted a law that becomes effective in 2024, called the Washington My Health, My Data Act. And it's intended to protect health information that's not protected by HIPAA. So we've looked at the planned privacy rule modifications that modifying its health breach notification rule. I want to thank you for your attention.
Okay, thank you, Paul. That does conclude the session for today. Thank you everyone for participating. You may all disconnect now and have a great day ahead.